We see all kinds of gnarly stuff as firefighters, and maybe you caught a little trauma. Today I'm going to talk about some ways to clear it up on your own without a prescription that you can do for yourself. DIY tips. Welcome, hotshots, to Firepower X. This is the place where we help you stay one step ahead of stress as a firefighter. My name is Jess. I'm a former firefighter and a neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner. What the hell is that? That's a personal trainer for your mind. And I want to be your secret weapon to turn you into an absolute beast at work and at home. So today, caveat, I am not a clinician. The perspectives I want to offer you in this video are very unconventional. They're probably not points of view that you have heard before, because there's a very common narrative when you hear the word trauma. Clinicians and providers have done a great job of saying this is what trauma is, but guess what? They don't get to corner the market. People like me who have been through my own trauma, who have cleared it up, I want to teach you some things that worked for me and some perspectives that really helped me shift my whole understanding on this issue. So now that you know I'm not a clinician, I'm a little bit maybe out there, maybe unconventional on this, know that you're the only one in your own mind. That's the first thing I want to tell you. You are the only one in your own mind. Putting a label on your trauma, I think, is more detrimental than anything. I fell for this once. I once considered myself a highly sensitive person because in my mind, I had this idea that I was somehow broken, I was somehow messed up. And I looked and found a label that I could diagnose myself with, HSP. And being an HSP, having that label, carrying that around, seeing that label as part of my identity did way more harm to me than good. I decided to just go cold turkey and drop it and say, whoever came up with this goofy label, they didn't know what they were talking about. I don't care whether they're a psychologist or not. And you know what? My life got immensely better the day that I did that. And I never looked back. I realized that a lot of these labels that we pick up and we start carrying or diagnoses, they don't have to define us. They don't have to define us. We really can just be like, you know what? I'm the only one in my own mind. I know what's going on in there. And I'm going to take control. I'm going to be the one to decide who I am and how I show up in the world. So that's my little empowerment push for you. I see trauma as a bad habit. Something really exciting happened to you in a bad way, and maybe you developed some bad habits because of it. And that's okay. This is the thing. We can change habits. Habit change. People change their habits all the time. What happens is if you keep this event, whatever happened to you, whatever you're considering the traumatic event or the traumatic situation that keeps popping up in life, if you keep it in your focus, it keeps it alive, right? If we pick up and we decide, oh, this is my new label, I have this diagnosis, it keeps it active in our mind. It keeps it active in our minds. By doing that, we're not healing it, we're actually keeping it alive. We're keeping it active in our mind, in our behavior, and how we're going through life. Some people get over trauma by just forgetting about it. That's how a lot of people do it. Many of the traumatic events in my life, I was like, I'm just going to forget about it. It's over. It's done. Why would I keep picking it up and reliving it, remembering it, and keeping it active if I want to be done with it? That's what real healing is. It's just being like, I'm done with this. So when we carry it around like a badge instead and give it a label, it gives it priority, it keeps it active. Just some food for thought. Also saying, I'm traumatized, integrating it into our personality, into our identity of who we think we are. It's just a habit of response. If you're acting, behaving in traumatized ways, they're just habits. So practice a new habit. Practice responding normally as an untraumatized person would. Practice responding as a version of you before the traumatic event. You remember what it felt like before the traumatic event? Go back to that version, return to that version of you and practice being them again. Neuroplasticity, baby. Neuroplasticity. Whatever you practice, you're going to become. So practice being normal again instead of practicing being traumatized. Reinforcing traumatized responses, traumatized thoughts, traumatized emotions. Just practice being a normal person again. That's all it takes. And through practicing and repetition, you're going to habituate it, and then you will be normal again. This is the beauty of neuroplasticity and repetition. So in my last video, coaching video, check it out. I'll link it above. I talked about three skills And I want to ask you if maybe we're keeping the old trauma alive, picking the scab by doing these things. First is attention. Are you focusing on the trauma? Are you thinking about it a lot? Are you framing your entire life experience from the trauma? Are you using it in your language? Are you saying trauma a lot? I'm traumatized. This is traumatic. Stop. Stop and drop it from your attention. I talk about dropping things from your attention. Learn how to drop it. Just drop it. Like, it really can be that simple. Your perspective and your flexibility. Are you framing everything from the bad perspective, the pessimistic perspective of being a traumatized person? Have you picked up this identity and put it on, and now you're looking at the eyes of a traumatized person that I'm broken, I'm messed up? I did that. I've been there. No judgment on you. If you've fallen for these kind of mental traps, that's okay. We can shed them. That's the beauty of this, is just having the awareness that we can literally just stop it overnight. That's what I did, cold turkey. I was just like, I am not this anymore. And the symptomology of it actually went away, of being a highly sensitive person. That was the crazy thing. When I dropped the label and I'm like, I'm not this anymore, I stopped displaying the symptoms. So, can you adopt the perspective of someone who is healthy, someone who is normal, someone who is whole? Can you just practice that perspective over and over again until it becomes your new resting place? And the last thing, your habits. Are you doing little routines or activities that are coddling your trauma behaviorally? This is another thing. We're going to stop that. We're going to stop that. If you have an intrusive thought, okay, just let it pass. It's like a fart. Let it go. Just let it pass. We don't continue to tell stories about the fart and capture it in a bag and make people smell it. We don't do that. I know this seems like I am making light of it, and I am, because I don't think it has to be this heavy, burdensome thing. Something happened to you. Yes, I acknowledge that. But do you want to be right, or do you want to be free? Do you want to be right and holding on to it and continuing to change your whole life around this traumatic event, or do you want to be healed from it and moved on and go back to a normalcy? That's really the question. That's freedom. That's freedom, is being able to return to whatever perspective you want after the event. There it is. It's that simple. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be free? That's the choice you're being asked to make in this video. Mental performance. To start to shed these labels that have infiltrated the fire service, like trauma and PTSD and all this stuff that is very heavy to carry around. It's emotional baggage. Let's drop it. If you want to learn how to drop all that stuff and really be the master of your own mental space, come join our community. That's what we do. You can learn these preventative skills so that you don't accidentally catch trauma when you go to a nasty call. It's protection for your mind. If you want to check it out, come over to firepowerx.com, where we've got mental fitness content, live coaching opportunities, and peer-to-peer networking. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.